Hello, this is Becca from Willow Hill Designs and welcome. Today I will be sharing my beginnings of prompt number 1, which is doily, for the Roxys Journal of Stitchery Volume 8, Gathered Things. And I had, if you hear any noises in the background, we're having a bathroom renovation done, so there may be some noise with saws for cutting tiles and things, just in case you'll know what's going on. But and it's just been chaotic here, really. Been some very long days because my opinion has been needed for different things, and so I'm just getting started on prompt number 1. So I'll try to keep my thoughts together because I'm a little bit scatterbrained at this point. But as I shared in my last video, the way I'll be setting mine up will be to take these square or rectangles of not a muslin, but it's an ivory fabric, and they will be side by side, and they'll be bordered by these vintage quilt blocks that I rescued and absolutely adore. So those will be the borders. These will go around as the border for this coverlet or quilt that we're making. Mine will be a quilt, just because I love quilts. So this is what my foundation will be, or my base will be for my pieces. So when Rachel and Sarah said doily, what came to mind for me was this type of doily. I thought, okay, you know, we should be picking out our favorite doilies here, but when they showed doilies, they showed something different as well. They had things like this, and things like this. So I thought that was, it's a little stain on there. So I thought that was kind of freeing, that we could choose things like this. So that's what I have done here. And because I think Rachel said that there would be 20 prompts, I have 20 of these rectangles. So I don't know, I decided to do 4 or 5 with doilies, or something similar to a doily. So I guess I'll just maybe start at the bottom here. So for the first one, I thought, I have strings everywhere. I love this doily. I think this is just so pretty. It's a round, hand stitched. It's all hand stitched. And I just love it. I love the color. This one is really pristine. I hate to cut it, but I will. I will be cutting it. So I'm thinking of maybe putting it up in a corner like this, and cutting back to put something like this. And because we don't really know where we're going with this project and the prompts that we'll be getting, you know, you don't want to stitch everything down because you may want to slip things underneath. So I'm creating my background as I go along with the prompts, not so much this, I'm using this as the foundation or background, but I'm creating it as I go. So I'm thinking of taking some 1930s fabrics to go with these doilies, just as a little accent of color. So I would maybe do something like this, kind of in a half circle with this. And I love this blue. I think this is very pretty. This wouldn't be the shape, but I think it just ties in so nicely with this blue. So what I would do is stitch this doily down here and here, but maybe leave this open so that I can tuck other things in. Excuse me. And that's kind of my idea for all of these. So that would be one with that fabric. And I guess we'll do this one. It's right on top. So this one, I was thinking I would take a hanky. First of all, I thought I'd take this piece of a larger doily. And I love this. There's a stain on it, but I guess that's okay. It just shows that it's been used. So I thought I might take this portion of it, and I would tie in the green maybe with this little hanky, which is really beautiful and delicate. I absolutely love it. So maybe something like that. And then I would put this so that you would see that scallop. And again, I would stitch down the doily piece, but I would leave this free for now to tuck other things under as we create, as we go across. I didn't want to put too much on these rectangles in the very beginning, because with 20 prompts we really don't know what we'll have to be adding. So I thought it'll be kind of a create as you go, I'll call it. So the next one that I decided to use was this doily, or I don't know, maybe it's a little tray scarf or something, I'm not sure. But I thought I would use this one. Is pretty, but it would take up a lot, and I mean at some point I may use this one, but I was thinking I would use this side and maybe come in, I don't know, it could be like this. It could be done at the bottom, which is kind of cute that way. It could also be done at the top. I could do it like that. It almost looks like a little purse or something like that. And then I have this 1930s fabric, and this is all I have left of this. I love this. I think it's so pretty. So I would put a little piece of this under this doily, going across to kind of tie that in. And I don't know, I may make a yo-yo. I just had this circle in with this fabric, so I may do a little yo-yo and put it on here as well to tie in. Or I may just pin it to this little rectangle, and then as we go down the road, decide where to add that. But I will make the doily. I also may make some hexagons. I think would look very nice with these. So that's doily number 3. And then for this one, I thought I would use this doily a couple of times, and I'll put it down here where you can see it a little better. I just think this is beautiful. I think this is a beautiful piece, and I do hate to cut into it. I actually gave one to my friend in England, and I kept one for myself. I had 2. So this is a larger motif at this end, and then we have this smaller one here. So I was thinking I would use the smaller one, and I thought I would take the green, just because I'm thinking of the blocks, the little quilt blocks that will be in the border. So I'd like to pick up the colors that are in the quilt blocks, and that's why I chose that pinky color, this pinky color up here, because I do have some blocks that have pink in them. This one is a solid pink here. So when I do add these little snippets of 1930s fabrics that I've gathered, also thinking and keeping in mind the colors that will be surrounding this little quilt. So I love this. By the way, I should show you close up. I absolutely adore this. I do have a bigger piece of this. This is one of my favorites. But if I did something like this in the corner, and then took the smaller motif and put it on top, and allowed the green, unless I actually shape the green, which I could do, shape the green to match this little corner motif. So you can see here, if it was just on the ivory, it doesn't really do too much for it, but if I put some green under it, I think it just looks very, very pretty, and it actually brings out the design in the doily piece while still tying in a quilt block that will be going around the outside of this quilt. So that is one. That will be one. And I will use the motif on the other side, the same small motif, on the opposite side for a second one with that green, only this time I've chosen this fabric, this 1930s, to again tie in with the greens in the quilt. There are different greens in the quilt, and so that would be this color, and that's probably a bigger piece than I might put. But if I had something like that, and then this green, this over it, you get that kind of nice green coming out behind this beautiful motif on this doily. So that's another one. I think that is 4. And I don't know how many of these to do, truthfully. I don't think I'll do a doily on each one of them. I can always add later. So I think for now, I will just try to stick with a few, and then I'll see what the prompts are. It's really kind of funny. It's like walking into a room where it's dark and you don't know where you're going and you don't know what's in that room. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like I don't really quite know where we're going. So it's kind of interesting. It's challenging to try to decide what to put on for me. How many of the blocks? There are 20 of these blocks, so how many do I put doilies on? But it's nice because it's fluid and I can change it. So this was the other doily that I chose. Some of these are so beautiful. You know, you hate to cut them up because for posterity, you know, we all, with slow stitching, we are cutting up these doilies. Will there be any left for future generations to see that are whole and intact? I don't really have a lot of these. I don't buy a lot because I buy more quilting cottons, but well, I guess it's okay to cut them up. So this one was another one that I chose. I'm not quite sure how I will do this one, how this one will be put on here. I'd like to feature that blue somehow, or maybe something like that. I'm not sure, and maybe a little bit of this blue under, tying in with the blue flower here. Maybe some of this blue with little tiny leaves on it. Maybe some kind of a little border, or a little, again, bringing in color, because, you know, there are blues in these little vintage blocks that I adore, absolutely adore them, but there's blues in there. So I just think that will look pretty on there. I think somehow we'll figure this out. So what I will do is, let's see, how many minutes are we? 14. I think what I will do is stop here, and in between all of the bathroom things that are going on, I will try to get these stitched and add it to the end of this video. If I don't, I'll show them stitched in the next video. So thank you very much for joining me today. I am just enjoying this tremendously. I think this is really going to be fun and very pretty. I adore this pink. I love them all, truthfully. I love them all. So it kind of gives you a little idea, and hopefully we're getting that vintage look with these vintage blocks. Look at that. Oh gosh, I love them. Actually, maybe I think I will stop this here. We're already up to 15 minutes, and that's enough in summer. Everybody's busy in the summertime. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I will wish you many blessings, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. This is just a little peek at what else I've been up to. A quilt for my son and daughter-in-law, but I have a video about it. I just thought I'd give you a peek. It's almost done. Yay!